behavior of dogs has long fascinated humans, and if one looks closely, it becomes clear that these loyal companions communicate far more through their actions than through sound alone, forming a rich, silent language that reveals their instincts, emotions, and even their health. A gentle stretch when they first see you in the morning, a random burst of energy after a quiet afternoon, the quiet act of sitting with their back turned, or even a peculiar tendency to scratch the ground after relieving themselves. Each of these gestures holds a meaning that, when understood, deepens the connection between humans and their canine friends. To begin with, when dogs stretch upon seeing their owners, it may appear to be a simple act of loosening their muscles, but in truth, it is a beautiful expression of trust and joy. Known as the play bow, this particular stretch is their way of saying, "I am happy to see you," and often serves as an invitation to engage, play, or simply share a moment of warmth. Unlike a human greeting, which often relies on words, handshakes, or smiles, dogs convey their affection physically and instinctively. This behavior often happens first thing in the morning or whenever the dog has been resting. It is their way of reactivating their bodies while simultaneously greeting the person they love. Another common behavior that intrigues many is their tendency to scratch the ground after doing their business. At first glance, it may seem as though the dog is trying to bury or cover up what they have left behind, similar to how a cat might cover its litter. However, for dogs, the act has far more to do with communication than cleanliness. In the pads of their paws are scent glands that release pheromones, invisible chemical messages that other dogs can detect. By scratching the ground, they are not merely tidying up. They are marking their territory with both scent and visible signs, signaling to any other animals that this area belongs to them. This instinct stretches back to their wild ancestors, such as wolves and wild dogs, who used scent marking to define their space and ward off rivals. Even in the safety of domestic life, this urge remains, reminding us that beneath their wagging tails and soft fur lies a deeply instinctive creature with ancient habits. Similarly, one of the most amusing yet meaningful behaviors is the phenomenon known as zoomies, those sudden bursts of uncontrollable energy during which a dog dashes around the house or garden with wild joy. Scientifically referred to as frenetic random activity periods, FRAPs, zoomies are a dog's way of releasing pent-up energy, particularly after moments of stillness, excitement, or after activities such as bathing. It is most common in young dogs and puppies, though older dogs may experience it as well. In these moments, the dog's joy is pure and unfiltered, reminding us of the boundless enthusiasm that defines so much of their spirit. Far from being a sign of misbehavior, zoomies are healthy and necessary, allowing dogs to regulate their energy levels and maintain emotional balance. Wise owners do not scold their pets during zoomies, but instead ensure the environment is safe for running, free of sharp corners, slippery floors, or hazards, so that the dog may express itself freely. Another classic behavior is their tendency to leap up excitedly when greeting their favorite humans. While this may frustrate some people who prefer a calmer welcome, it stems from their instinctive puppyhood. In the wild, young dogs greet older members of their pack by licking their faces to show affection or submission. Domestic dogs, realizing their beloved humans are much taller, try to reach our faces through jumping. Though positive training can teach them to greet more gently, it is important to remember that their leaping is not naughtiness but love, a burst of happiness at your return. Some behaviors, however, can be more puzzling or even concerning to owners, such as when dogs eat their own feces, a habit known as coprophagia. Though unsettling to witness, it has explanations grounded in biology and behavior. Puppies often explore the world with their mouths and may do this out of curiosity, whereas adult dogs might do so because of dietary deficiencies or learned habits. In the wild, mother dogs sometimes consume their puppy's waste to keep the den clean and free from scents that might attract predators. Though domestic dogs are safe from such dangers, the instinct can linger. A clean environment, a balanced diet, and gentle redirection can often curb this habit. Then there is the adorable sight of a dog sleeping on its back, belly exposed to the ceiling, limbs relaxed in the air. This is not simply a comfortable sleeping position. It is a declaration of absolute trust. When dogs sleep in this vulnerable posture, they are exposing their most sensitive areas, including their stomach, which would be extremely dangerous in the wild. They only do this when they feel completely safe in their surroundings and with their humans. Furthermore, sleeping belly up helps them regulate body temperature, as the fur on their stomach is thinner, allowing them to cool down more easily. For a dog to rest this way means it feels utterly at peace, a sign of a secure and happy home. Sunbathing is another cherished pastime for dogs. Many canines seek out patches of warm sunlight, stretch out their bodies, and lie still for long moments. Beyond comfort, this behavior has real physical benefits. Exposure to the sun stimulates the production of vitamin D, which supports bone health, muscle function, and immunity. The warmth also eases stiff joints and tired muscles, making it especially beneficial for older dogs. Still, caution is necessary. Just like humans, dogs can overheat or even get sunburnt. Providing shaded areas and fresh water ensures they can enjoy the sun safely. Licking is another universal canine language, and when dogs lick your feet, it may seem odd, but is usually a gentle sign of affection and trust. Our sweat contains salts and other chemical compounds, and dogs' sensitive noses and tongues pick up on these scents. Licking is not only a way of tasting, but also a means of communication, often reflecting submission, love, or a desire for attention. Many dogs quickly learn that licking feet elicits a reaction, a laugh, a movement, or speech, reinforcing the behavior. Gentle nibbling, often felt as soft mouthing on the hands during play or petting, is yet another sign of affection. This behavior echoes their puppyhood, when littermates would nibble one another during playful bonding. In adult dogs, it usually means, "I like this," or "I want to keep interacting." Of course, responsible owners set boundaries, redirecting excessive mouthing to appropriate chew toys, ensuring that affection never turns into discomfort. At times, dogs bark seemingly at nothing, gazing at empty spaces with alert eyes. Though it might unsettle some owners, this usually has a simple explanation. Their senses far surpass our own. A dog's hearing can detect high-frequency sounds that human ears miss entirely, and their sense of smell is so powerful it can pick up faint scents from far distances. Barking at nothing often means barking at something we cannot perceive. Occasionally, it may also be a way to release energy or express anxiety. Regular exercise, mental stimulation, and reassurance can help prevent excessive barking. Following their humans around the house is one of the most heartwarming and telling dog behaviors. Many owners joke about having a little shadow that trails behind them wherever they go. This habit stems from dogs' pack instincts. In their natural world, staying close to the pack leader ensures safety, warmth, and food. To your dog, you are their trusted leader, the center of their world. This constant closeness signals a deep bond and love, though in some cases, excessive following may hint at separation anxiety, which can be gently addressed with training and reassurance. Dogs eating dirt is another behavior that raises eyebrows. While sometimes harmless curiosity, it can also be linked to mineral deficiencies or mild digestive discomfort. Unfortunately, soil may contain parasites, harmful bacteria, or toxins, making this habit potentially risky. If your dog engages in it regularly, consulting a veterinarian is wise to ensure nothing is amiss nutritionally or medically. One gesture that many overlook, but which carries a great deal of meaning, is when a dog sits with its back to its human. Far from being rude or dismissive, this position signals trust. By turning their back, dogs are essentially saying, "I feel safe with you. I trust that I don't need to keep watch behind me." In some cases, dogs position themselves this way to monitor the environment on your behalf, a quiet, loyal way of keeping you safe. Dragging their bottoms along the floor, though sometimes humorous to witness, often signals discomfort. The most common culprit is irritation or blockage in the anal glands, though allergies or worms can also be the cause. Occasional scooting is not usually serious, but if it happens frequently, a veterinary visit is essential to prevent infection or further issues. Returning to where we began, the simple act of stretching when a dog sees you carries extraordinary weight. This gesture, often mistaken for a mere physical adjustment, is actually one of their purest forms of greeting. Known as the play bow, it is both a sign of happiness and an invitation. Dogs bow like this to other dogs to signal friendly intentions, and when they do it to humans, it is a clear declaration of love and trust. It is as if they are saying, "You matter to me," or saying, "You matter to me,"